We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. We heard yesterday, at the end of the day, under the insignificant portion of the mode of darkness, the powerful manifestation of the universe merges in the darkness of night. By the influence of eternal time, the innumerable living entities remain merged in that dissolution, and everything is silent. This is when night of Brahma comes. Tam evan vapi dhyante loka bhur adayastraya nishayam anuvritayam nirmukta shashi bhaskaram. When the night of Brahma ensues, all the three worlds are out of sight, and the sun and the moon are without glare, just as in the due course of an ordinary night. Here Sai Maharaj is commenting. It is understood that the glare of the sun and moon disappear from the sphere of the three worlds, but the sun and the moon themselves do not vanish. They appear in the remaining portion of the universe, which is beyond the sphere of the three worlds. Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. The portion in dissolution remains without sun rays or moon glow. It all remains dark and full of water, and there are indefatigable winds, as explained in the following verses. Trilokyam Dahyamanayam Shaktya Shankarsanagnina Yanti Ushmana Maharlokaj Janam Brigvadayo Rditaha. The devastation takes place due to the fire emanating from the mouth of Shankarshan, and thus great sages like Brigu and other inhabitants of Maharloka transport themselves to Janaloka, being distressed by the warmth of the blazing fire which rages through the three worlds below. Maharloka is not under fire, but heat is reaching Maharloka. The three worlds are under fire, and that is so powerful that there is some influence on Maharloka, and they, Brigu and others, they go one up to Janaloka. That there is no problem. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita also this is in details. Tavat tri bhuvanam sadhyah kalpanta idhita sindavah plavayanti utkata topa chanda vate ritormayah. At the beginning of the devastation, all the seas overflow and hurricane winds blow very violently. Thus the waves of the seas become ferocious, and in no time all the three worlds are full of water. In commentary, it is said that the blazing fire from the mouth of Shankarshan rages for 100 years of the demigods, or 36,000 human years. So first there is fire. Then for another 36,000 years, there are torrents of rain accompanied by violent winds and waves, and the seas and oceans overflow. These reactions of 70 2,000 years are the beginning of the partial devastation of the three worlds. People forget all these devastations of the worlds and think themselves happy in the material progress of civilization. This is called Maya, or that which is not. Maya, not that. Like we see phantasmagoria, we think it is water, but it is not that. So our Gurudev also said, any moment we may die. So what will go with us? Nothing will go with us. Only devotion to Supreme Lord will go with us. So why we are so much trying to progress in this material development and all this? Only as much as necessary for maintenance, that much. And also, Gurudev used to explain, when that Yamaraj, who took the form of that bird, crow, I think, he was asking questions. You know, in Mahabharata, 4 brothers, Pandavas, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Sahadev, and Nakul. They were in forest and they were very thirsty. So one went up on the tree and saw at some distance some nice lake, clean water. So first one went there and he wanted to drink, and that voice came from that action, no, first you have to answer my question, then you can drink, otherwise you will die. But he did not listen and he died. Drinking died. So all 4 brothers were killed. Last was Yudhishthir Maharaj. So he went there and he said, okay, I will answer your questions. There are 100 questions. Very important, but 4 of them are most important. One is, what is the news of this world? Another is, what is most astonishing, wonderful in this world? And one is, what is the right path? And 4th one is, who is happy in this world? First question, what is the news? The Yudhishthir Maharaj described this. It is like a frying pan. And all the jivas, they are being burned in 3-fold afflictions by Yamaraj. There is day and night, more details there you will find. Now I'm not telling all details, but point is, this is the news of this world. Jivas are being fried. 3-fold miseries and birth, that is. And this one I wanted to remember, what is the most wonderful, most astonishing? Yudhishthir Maharaj said that we are seeing people elder than us, they're dying in front of our eyes. People younger than us, they're dying in front of our eyes. People of same age are dying in front of our eyes. Still, seeing this, still we think, no, I will remain. How do we see that? Because we are making so many plans. What we will do in this world, what we will enjoy, what all this. Thinking I will remain here permanently. Not thinking about that. So this is most astonishing. We see with our eyes, but think, no, I will remain. So if one wants to be serious for bhajan, the one Vaishnava Parjatak Maharaj, He told one has to be always conscious of two things. One is your death, another is Krishna. Conscious of your death and Krishna conscious. Then your bhajan will be serious. But if we are not thinking about our death, then we will waste time and think this is valuable, this is, if I will get this is valuable, so many things we think, but it will all perish. Even this body will perish. We think this is I. It will perish. It will be destroyed. It will be taken. And we who are different from this body will have to go to another. So it is not worth trying for so many things in this world. Only for the service of Krishna and as much as necessary for in Bhagavatam that Sutta Goswami told. One should only desire for health, for survival and tattva jigyasa, to inquire about the absolute truth. This is the only thing human beings has to do. Human beings they have to do. So then what is the right path? Yudhishthir Maharaj said that logic and argument is inconclusive by intellect and like this, reasoning. They will always fight among each other, different philosophers, and one will establish this, another will establish this, and it is inconclusive. They will never come to proper conclusion. Impossible. What is the right path is hidden in the heart of Mahajanas, means pure devotees. What they say is the right path, and what they are following, that is proper path. Mahajanas means in Bhagavatam 12 are mentioned pure devotees like Prahlad, Shukadev Goswami, Shiva, four Kumaras, Janak Maharaj, and Brahma, Narad, 12 they are mentioned because they are all pure devotees. They are following Bhagavad Dharma, service of Supreme Lord. That is proper path. And who is happy? One who is not in debt to anyone, has no debt, and who is not driven away from his home, and one who can eat in the evening some nice chapati and shak like this. It means no debt. It does not mean only like you owe money to someone, but this whole world belongs to Krishna. If we exploit for our own selfish purposes, then we are making a loan. We'll have to pay back. There will be reaction. So only one who sees everything belongs to Krishna and uses everything for his service and accepts only his mercy for maintenance, he is not in debt and he is peaceful. All others, they are thieves actually. Those who are not seeing everything belongs to Krishna and not offering everything to him, they are thieves. So they cannot they cannot have peace. And driven away from home means our real home is transcendental realm, where Krishna resides. He's the only master and enjoyer there. That is our real home because we belong to him. So one who is out of this consciousness, he cannot be happy. And he who eats some simple food means prasad, mercy of Krishna. Only such person is happy in this world, no one else. And this is confirmed in Bhagavatam also, when that man who was lying on the ground, we heard that story many times, Prahlad Maharaj came to him, why you are not working for happiness? Because the ministers, they were having doubts. Prahlad knew, so that is why he asked. Then he said, yes, they are working for happiness, but no one is getting happiness. And not only they, I went to 14 worlds, from hellish to Brahmaluka. Everyone is working for happiness, but no one is happy. So why I will also do this thing? If there is any happy person, it is you, Prahlad, because you have accepted Supreme Lord, who is all bliss. Only you are happy. So when Yudhishthir Maharaj replied these 4 questions, then that bird revealed his own form, that he's actually Yamaraj, Dharmaraj, and he was very happy, and he offered boon. Then Yudhishthir Maharaj said, you bring back my brothers to life. So they came back to life. So here Sai Maharaj is telling, people forget all these devastations of the worlds, means everything will be destroyed, and think themselves happy in the material progress of civilization. This is called Maya, or that which is not. So we have to be conscious of 2 things, of death and Krishna. Then we can progress nicely. Antar satasmin salila aste nantasano hari yoga nidra nimilaksha stuya mano jana layai. The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, lies down in the water on the seat of Ananta, with his eyes closed, and the inhabitants of the Janaloka planets offer their glorious prayers unto the Lord with folded hands. Evam vidher ahoratrei kala gatyo palakshitei apakshitam ivasyapi paramayur vayakshatam. Thus, the process of the exhaustion of the duration of life exists for every one of the living beings, including Lord Brahma. Once life endures for only 100 years, in terms of the times in the different planets. Brahma also lives his own 100 years, demigods also, humans, but different duration is there. But now in Kali Yuga, even 100 years we are unable to. Yat ardham ayushastasya parardham abhidhiyate purva parardho pakranto hyaparo dya pravartate. The 100 years of Brahma's life are divided into 2 parts, the first half and the second half. The first half of the duration of Brahma's life is already over, and the second half is now current. Purvasyado parardhasya Brahmo nama mahan abhut kalpo yatra bhavat Brahma shabda brahmeti yam vidu. In the beginning of the first half of Brahma's life, there was a millennium called Brahma Kalpa, wherein Lord Brahma appeared. The birth of the Vedas was simultaneous with Brahma's birth. Means they appeared. They were not created. Vedas are eternal, like Supreme Lord. They are emanations from him, from his breathing. Veda. First there was only one Veda. and everything is there included. Then it was divided in 4. Brahma is speaking through 4 mouths, and Vyasadeva also divided into 4 for easily understanding and applying. Vedas means everything, karma kant, jnana kant, and bhakti, all is there in the Vedas. Tasyaiva chante kalpobhut yam padmam abhichakshate yat dharer nabi sarasa asi loka saroruham. Because here this word is used Shabda Brahma. Shabda Brahma means sounds of the Vedas or sound God. They are not different from him. So that sound is eternal. Brahma only, it was manifested through him in this world. The millennium taseva chante kalpabhut yam padmam abhichakshate yat dharer nabi sarasa asi loka saroruham. The millennium which followed, the first Brahma millennium, is known as the Padma Kalpa, because in that millennium the universal lotus flower grew out of the navel reservoir of water of the personality of Godhead, Hari. Ayam tu katita kalpo dvitiyasyapi bharata varaha iti vikyato yatra si chukaro Hari. O descendant of Bharata, the first millennium is the second half of the life of Brahma. No, the first millennium in the second half of the life of Brahma is also known as the Varaha millennium, because the personality of Godhead appeared in that millennium as the hog incarnation. Hog or pig, but that wild one. Our Gurudev told, when we hear this pig incarnation, so we think, no, we are interested only in Krishna. And we are proud, we are Krishna Bhaktas. And Gurudev said, if you got darshan of Varaha Bhagavan, means Supreme Lord in the form of pig, you will be so attracted, you will forget about Krishna. Because only you heard about Krishna, you have no direct realization of him. But you are proud. And you are thinking in material imagination that this pig, this is not beautiful. No. Supreme Lord in any form he appears is all attractive. You will lose all attraction to this world or anything. Any form you see. There is, of course, difference in the rasa, how much rasas are there, but it does not mean that pig Bhagavan is something like disgusting or not beautiful as we think in this world. We have experience with pig. No, that is transcendental form, all beautiful. You will be fully attracted and lose all attraction to this worldly enjoyment totally. And for liberation, everything, you will lose desire. Only you will want to serve him. But because gopis, they had direct darshan of Krishna and also they were engaged in his service, for them, they could, when they saw Narayan, they could bow down to him respectfully, and they were asking him, did you see Krishna? and there was no reply, then they went searching on for Krishna, because they already got that superior taste, but they did not disrespect him. But if we would see Narayan, then you will be fully attracted there. Then only after, if you get darshan of Krishna, you may be more attracted to him. But Krishna and Narayan, they are one and the same person. Krishna here took the form of Narayan, and Brahma also saw that all Narayanas are coming from him. And in Gopal Tapani Upanishad, you will find Narayan is speaking to Brahma about Gopal. And he's speaking in this way, that you have to worship my form as Gopal. Same person. God is only one, and there are not many gods. Only one God, but he has innumerable different pastimes and realms and associates, but he's one person. So Narayan is telling, in Mathura, you have to worship me either in this four-handed form or in two-handed form as Krishna. I as Gopal. Kaloyam dvi parardakyo nimesha upacharyate avyakritasya nantasya hyanader jagat atmana. The duration of the two parts of Brahma's life, as above mentioned, is calculated to be equal to 1 nimesh, less than a second, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is unchanging and unlimited, and is the cause of all causes of the universe. So 2 parts of Brahma's life means he's 100 years. Even we cannot write so long number. How long number that is? How many years of our calculation is Brahma's one life, and that is like a moment, less than moment, for less than second for Supreme Lord, because he is always in present time, that is beyond this material time. He is unchanging, means eternal. Brahma is changing, he will die. But Supreme Lord is unchanging, and Atmas of living entities, they're also unchanging, but we have to realize that. Kaloyam paraman vadir dvi pararthanta ishvara naiveshitum prabhur bhumna ishvaro dhama maninam. Eternal time is certainly the controller of different dimensions, from that of the atom up to the super divisions of the duration of Brahma's life. But nevertheless, it is controlled by the Supreme. Time can control only those who are body conscious, even up to the Satyaloka or the other higher planets of the universe. All are under the influence of time, conditioned souls. But those who have realized that they are Atma, they are beyond this time. That is eternal plane. There was never a time when Atma did not exist. And there will never be a time when Atma will not exist. Atma is eternal. It is above this material time. But all material energy, time, space, all this is always changing. And if we are misidentified with this, then we are fearful. Those who are out of this, they have no fear. Once I asked Gurudev on train to Chandigarh, I say, Gurudev, this is true, that those who are sadhana siddhas, means those who got perfection in sadhana, means they did sadhana and got realization. They have no fear. Then Gurudev did not say by words, but by his example and by his gestures. He was looking like this, with hand doing, like as if searching. Any fear? No, no fear. Means not by word, he did not say, but only by his gestures he showed, no, they have no fear. They realized souls. Because they are not identified with matter, they are always in their real self, that is immortal. And always they're in connection with Supreme Lord who is omnipotent. So how they can have any fear? He's like their parent, they're in his shelter. And that is concrete reality. So why they will have any fear? Like Prahlad Maharaj, never had any fear. Because he realized the soul. God is there. So time can control only those who are body conscious, identifying with body. Vikareih sahito yukteir visheshadibir avrita anda kosho bahir ayam panchashat koti vistritaha. This phenomenal material world is expanded to a diameter of 4 billion miles as a combination of 8 material elements transformed into 16 further categories within and without as follows. Brahma also will have to give up his body, but this Brahma now, he is a pure devotee, he is our Guru. So after his life will end, he will enter into transcendental realm. But in sometimes Brahma is not devotee, he will be according to his actions, then will take another birth. Because it is stated there that all those who will reach by that process to Brahmaloka, then they will also be liberated together with Brahma at the end of his life. But he will have to give up this body. Dasho, because you can become Brahma if for 100 lifetimes you perfectly follow sannyas dharma. Varnashram dharma, then there is sannyas dharma. For 100 lives perfectly you have to follow. Then you can get the post of Brahma. That is why our Srila Bon Gosai Maharaj, when he was sincerely doing that parikrama to Himalaya, then when he reached Gangotri, that is the same as Brahmaloka, because Ganga is coming from Brahma's water pot. When he got that realization of that place, Brahmaloka, he felt that now his sannyas, following his sannyas was fulfilled, and there is no need of following this sannyas dharma for him. That is, of course, meant this varna ashram dharma sannyas. But devotees, when they take sannyas, tridanda sannyas, it means they will engage all the senses, means body and words and mind for the service of Krishna. So that type of sannyas you will never give up. Because that is it for eternal. One is sannyas has many stages. Bahudaka, Derringer Dharma there. But ultimately it comes to Paramahamsa, that is topmost. Above that also is Turyashrami and Avadut and like this. So they do not even wear this danda and this cloth like this, but they are fully engaged in the service of Krishna. And those who are Tridandi sannyasis, they are also not this ordinary Varnashra Dharma, but they are having for the service of Krishna. And Prabhupada, although he is a Paramahamsa, means Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he took Tridanda sannyas because that Babaji, Paramahamsa Vesh, Babaji order was so much misused in society at that time. People, they just took Babaji Vesh and they were begging for food. People thinking they are devotees, so will give, and they were having illicit connection with ladies in the name of Raganuga, and all these things were going on, so people lost faith. And they justified, no, we are beyond scriptural rules and regulations, we are Paramahamsas. That was their justification, or they defended themselves in that way. So people in Bengal, they became disgusted and they hated such things. So then Prabhupada, he took sannyas because sannyas is still within scriptural regulations. So he cannot say, no, I am beyond scripture, so you should not see my character. I can do whatever I like because I am Paramahamsa, I am Raganuga, I am no rules, regulations, nothing. That was all misused. So he perfectly followed sannyas dharma in relation to the service of Krishna, and no one could find any fault in his character, according to Shastra completely, in order to show what is the actual Babaji, transcendental person, Paramahamsa, as his guru, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. For that reason, he followed sannyas dharma. Otherwise, there was no necessity. Before him, there was no sannyas in Gauriya Vaishnavism. Either they were householders or Babaji, those who became ascetics. But because that was so misused, he took that sannyas. And he made this arrangement for brahmacharis as a middle stage household life, and then there is Paramahamsa Babaji, like Rupa Sanatan, Raghunath Das Goswami, like this, that is very high. Even Mahaprabhu told to Raghunath Das Goswami, don't become monkey-like. Monkey renunciate. Outwardly look like he's very renounced, but inside he has so many desires. So don't do this. You go back to your house, you do all your household duties and worship Krishna. Now it is not time for you to join that. And like this. And Mahaprabhu also chastised Choto Haridas. He was Babaji, but he was speaking intimately with women. So Mahaprabhu rejected him very heavily. So it is not a joke. So because there is a big gap from household to Paramahamsa, and Prabhupada also saw that because Kali Yuga is progressing so much, that in many houses it is difficult to do bhajan because they are so materialistic minded. So those who want to worship Krishna, they will face many obstacles if staying in house. So then how they will be purified? So he made this arrangement for mat system, where they can engage in the service of Krishna in association of sadhus as brahmacharis and the sannyasis. Then they can progress and ultimately they will reach the level of Paramahamsa, but it is not necessary that they will have to give up sannyas dress and take white cloth. That is not necessary. They can be Paramahamsa in that dress, like Prabhupada was. Dasho taradikair yatra pravishtah paramanuvat lakshaten targataschanye kotisho hyanda rashayah. Or one can be Paramahamsa in household life also, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Outwardly like householder, but is fully dedicated to Krishna, fully engaged in his service, and having that transcendental vision. Everything belongs to Krishna. All family members' house, everything belongs to Krishna. I'm only servant of Krishna. The layers of elements covering the universes are each 10 times thicker than the one before, and all the universes clustered together appear like atoms in a huge combination. You will find in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Gopakumar was explaining to that Brahmana from Assam about his experience when he was chanting mantra, how he was passing through all these things. Even these layers is described there. Everyone will have to pass because this creeper of the oceanal service will have to pass through this material universe and then go to Biraja and then Brahma Jyoti and then Vaikuntha and finally go to Vrindavan. You cannot just jump there by imagination. That is not possible. You have to earn your way through service so that you can reach there. Tat ahur aksharam brahma sarva karana karanam vishnur dhama param shakshat purushasya mahatmana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, is therefore said to be the original cause of all causes. Thus the spiritual abode of Vishnu is eternal without a doubt. And it is also the abode of Mahavishnu, the origin of all manifestations. Here in Sanskrit it is Aksharam Brahma. This is like in Upanishad. Akshara means one who is unchanging. Aksharam Brahma means supreme. Here Krishna is not mentioned. Tat ahur aksharam Brahma sarva karana karanam. But Krishna is meant. That is why Sai Maharaj here translated as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, is therefore said to be the original cause of all causes. Because he is that Akshara Brahma. And in Upanishad you will find like this only. Akshara Brahma, Prana, Akash, all these terms. Vishnur Dham Param Shakshat Purushasya Mahatma. That mantra which we are chanting, Tad Vishnu Paramang Padam, this Paramang Padam can mean lotus feet of Vishnu, they are eternal, or his abode is eternal. Also another meaning. Padam is abode. So here, the spiritual abode of Vishnu is eternal without a doubt. And it is also the abode of Mahavishnu, the origin of all manifestations. Next chapter 12. Creation of the Kumaras and others. Maitreya Uvach. Iti te varnitah kshata kalakyah paramatmanah Mahima Veda Garbotha Yata Srakshi Niboda Me. Sri Maitreya said, O learned Vidur, so far I have explained to you the glories of the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his feature of Kala, that is time. Now you can hear from me about the creation of Brahma, the reservoir of all Vedic knowledge. Sasar Jagrendha Tamisram Atha Tamisram Adikrit Mahamoham Chamoham Cha Tamash Chagyana Vritaya. Brahma first created the nescient engagements like self-deception, the sense of death, anger after frustration, the sense of false ownership, and the illusory bodily conception of forgetfulness of one's real identity. These 5 are created. Anyone who is misidentifying with matter, hence conditioned soul, they are under this self-deception. We think we are more competent than we are, or we are thinking less. I am so you will see sometimes they are very euphoric and sometimes they are fully depressed, changing the mental according to their mental state they are feeling. But we have to rise above mind. This mind is always cheating us of the real vision. Our mind is totally distorting our vision, it's cheating us totally. That is why we should not follow our mind. Prahlad Maharaj also said, you should not follow your mind. You have to follow the guidance of Shastra, which is beyond mind, and follow the guidance of realized soul. Otherwise your mind will cheat you. Self-deception will cheat you, will go wrong thing. No, I feel like that. I feel. But mind is today is accepting something. After some time will reject. Same thing as before. That was absolutely right and fully like this, and with great conviction they will try to prove that. But the same person after some time will reject that. That is not good. That is all under the influence of mind. So that is unreliable, and that is why Shastra and Guru we have to follow. And the sense of death. Everyone is thinking, I will die. Because misidentified with matter, and matter is always changing. So, and anger after frustration. You want something, some material desire. When you will not get it, it will not be fulfilled, you will be angry. The sense of false ownership. This is my house. It is meant for me. It is for my enjoyment. This is my wife. This is my husband. This is my child. Everything is mine and for me. That is false, totally. So false ownership. That is moha. And the illusory bodily conception, I am this body. Or forgetfulness of one's real identity, that I am eternal servant of Krishna. We are not aware. Yes. here Sai Maharaj sharing, before the factual creation of the living entities in different varieties of species, the conditions under which a living being in the material world has to live were created by Brahma. All conditioned souls, they will have to be under these 5 things, 5 ignorances. Yes. Unless a living entity forgets his real identity, it is impossible for him to live in the material conditions of life. Therefore, the first condition of material existence is forgetfulness of one's real identity. And by forgetting one's real identity, one is sure to be afraid of death. Although a pure living soul is deathless and birthless, the false identification with material nature is the cause of false ownership of things which are offered by the arrangement of the superior control. Yes. It is evident from this verse that Brahma himself is a creation of the Supreme Lord, and the 5 kinds of nescience which condition the living entities in the material existence are creations of Brahma. So all we come under the influence of this. But one who will surrender to Krishna and worship him, then by Krishna's grace he can be liberated from all these 5 types of ignorances. Then he can have peaceful and blissful life. Otherwise not. Only this verse I will read. Drishtva papi yasim srishtim natmanam bahu amanyata bhagavad dhyana putena manasanyam tato srijat. Seeing such a misleading creation as a sinful task, Brahma did not feel much pleasure in his activity, and therefore he purified himself by meditation on the personality of Godhead. Then he began another term of creation. That we will hear, I think, on Thursday. Tomorrow is some special day and one Maharaj. So we will see either tomorrow if there will be time or day after tomorrow.